if we will allow. And you might wonder, well, how can I know if I'm really being led by the Spirit? But before I delve more into that, I want to give a story of my life, which is what this book is about. Lessons I learned in the school of stupid. I went through a lot of things, and I didn't always use wisdom or follow the cloud by day or let the fire by night. No, and I also think about that fire by night. Sometimes, we're in the dark night of our soul, and the fire of God tries to come into that dark place of our life, whatever it is we're going through, that's causing us not really to be thinking straight, thinking like the Lord wants us to. And, the fire of God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit shows up and tries to woo us and tries to get us out of that place and show us the way. But because of so many other things that we allow in, it trips us up. And I've had many things that have tripped me up because I did not follow that cloud. So there was a time that I lived in California and I attended a Pentecostal church. And I was able to get to that church because of a nice, good-looking man who picked me up. I had called the church and I let them know I didn't have a way to get there. So there was a man attending there. He was in the choir and known and liked by so many people. And so at the time, I was away from my 3 boys and I missed them terribly. I had gone out there for a job that did not pan out for long. And while I was looking for a church to go to, I met this guy. Now, we're talking about trusting God with your whole heart. You can't follow the cloud and be led by His presence unless you really are giving Him your whole heart. And obviously, at this particular time, I was not giving way my whole heart to the Lord. I had, trusted in other things. I was more or less trusting in my emotions at that time of my life, more than I was with God. I was looking for love, and I thought it would work because, hey, he was in church, and it seemed logical to me and felt right, so it had to work out right. Wrong with a capital W. The enemy can set you up even in a church house. It's true. I mean, a lot of people think, wow, if I just go to church, or I could meet someone in church and they're going to church and they're in the choir and they're all this in a bag of chips, this has got to be God. But it's so important to be sold out, to die out to your thinking, because, that can become logical thinking that leads you down the wrong path. And it doesn't seem like things that happen in a church could lead you astray. But, our focus has to be upon the Lord and be led. So, here I am in this Pentecostal church,